Hi everybody, my name's John Newsom. I am your race director for the Sea2sky Challenge. We'll be operating this event under Covid-19 red light framework, which means we have to keep our groups socially distant and our groups can be no more than 100 people. It's going to be absolutely critical that all of you guys are on board and you fully understand how the day is going to pan out, where you need to be at what times, and you follow all the guidelines we have in place. Of most importance is if you are not feeling well at all, please do not come to the event. Please refer to the athlete manual for any updates and also the website, Facebook page and via email, but this is what the likely schedule is going to look like. Registration will be as outlined in the race manual on Friday and Saturday. Unless you're outside the Greater Christchurch area, you need to collect your race bags. It's fine for athletes to pick up multiple race packs for friends and colleagues. As you can see in this map here, we're going to be dividing the transition area up into different zones, and you can only go into your zone. So zone 1, which is going to be white numbers, is for the faster athletes doing the full challenge. Zone 2 is going to be for the less fast athletes doing the full challenge with yellow numbers. Zone 3 is for the junior and triathlon athletes. Then we will have the kids in their little transition zone by the steps in front of the cafe. And then in a separate area, we will have the runners up at Sumner Vale Reserve, where they will be starting their event. For parking, we are trying to maintain separation between the groups. So athletes are requested that they only arrive at Scarborough or the Sumner Vale transition area within their designated time slot for checking in. If you're early, please wait in your car. You can see on this map the different areas we would like you to park. So zone 1 is along the Esplanade, zone 2 is on Nayland Street, but please do not park on the course. Zone 3, and for the kids event, park on Menzies Street, and for the run events, group 1 to park on Wiggins Street and group 2 to park on Hardwick Street. So arriving onto site, this is where it's going to start to get interesting. Main difference with this event will be that all athletes and all volunteers will need to wear a mask whenever they are in the transition area, also when they are heading to the start line, and then a mask will need to be put on immediately after finishing. We will supply disposable masks at registration and also when athletes finish. We will have the Covid-19 Tracer app QR codes on display for you to scan around registration, in transition area and in other spots around the event. The transition area will be fenced off into different areas depending on which zone you're in. Athletes must arrive in your designated time slot. Once you have entered the transition area and into your zone, you must stay in your zone. Please don't leave your area to go to do warm-ups, and certainly don't intermingle with the other zones. So you have been allocated your zone based off your predicted time. In your race pack you'll have a sticker to go on your helmet and also a race number, bib number. Please wear those when you do enter the race site so you can be directed to the correct entry point. As you can see in this map, there will be an entry point to the left hand side for athletes in zone 2, and there will be another entry point for those in zone 1 and zone 3, sort of you can see that in the middle of the map. So athletes in zone 1, your reporting time is between 7:20 and 7:40 am. Zone 2 is 7:40 to 8 am, and zone 3 is 8 o'clock until 8:20 am. For the run challenge, we have limited numbers, so there is only one group. There'll be one set of toilets, and there'll be a bag drop area where you can leave your gear that you want after the race. You will have received a bag at registration. These bags will be collected at Sumner School at the same location as the triathletes and duathletes are picking up their bikes. For the starting procedure for the triathlon and duathlon events, this will differ slightly from other years. Given it is low tide, we will be starting all the events on the beach in front of the Scarborough Fair Cafe. For the triathletes, there will be a line of cones, or multiple lines of cones. You'll line up behind those cones. There will be 15 athletes in each wave approximately, and you'll be starting every 30 seconds. It'll be a similar procedure for the duathletes. There will be another series of rows of cones. You will line up behind those in your respective waves, and then you also will be starting every 30 seconds. The same process will be repeated for the junior and tri events, and you can see in this image here the respective swim courses. So the open full challenge is a rectangular type course, and the junior and tri event will simply swim out to the orange buoy you can see in this image. They'll turn and then return to the beach. The exit point for the swim will also differ to previous years. You will not be going up the steps by the cafe, you'll be going up the ramp. You can see indicated with this light blue arrow, up the ramp onto the promenade and then running a short distance along before you will go over the wall using the steps and then enter the transition area. For the duathletes, whether you're doing the full challenge or the junior challenge, you'll be running along the beach to start your run. The full challenge will go all the way along to Cave Rock and then turn up one of the final ramps and then come back along the promenade. The junior duathletes will start also on the beach and run about halfway along the beach on the sand and then turn up a different ramp and then run back along the promenade. For the run challenge, much like the other events, arrive on time. Your start will be a self-seeded rolling start directed by the run course director. Cones will be lined up in a similar fashion to the other start you've just seen in a grid. Athletes will stand behind a cone, move forward as the group in the front starts. 10 athletes will start every 30 seconds. The reason we can do self-seeding with your group is because your start time will not actually take place until you're around about 100 meters into your run. You'll run over a timing mat and then that will officially start your race. I do request that you seed yourselves with some common sense, so the faster athletes go first and the slower athletes go last, as you do go straight onto a single track. For the kids aquathon, there are no significant changes other than the reporting times and obviously the social distancing. The children and the parents can report to the transition area which is in front of Ocean Cafe, as you can see in this image, and then the race director, myself, will take the children off to their start and give them a briefing then. So some important requirements within the race. Given we have wave starts, we expect there will be some crossover with cyclists at the Evans Pass intersection. So please read up about that. There is a timing mat before and after the intersection, so whatever time you have to stand there waiting, which we hope is a short duration, that time will not be included in your finish time at the end of the race. This is a non-drafting race, which enables us to have social distancing on the bike. There will only be one self-serve aid station, which will be located at Taylor's Mistake. So if you are doing a full distance challenge run, we would suggest you take a hydration pack if it's a hot day. Please, when you pass someone on the run, try to make a wide pass and avoid following athletes at a close distance. There's absolutely no spitting during the event or clearing of your nose, and please no littering at all because we are running over dock land, but you shouldn't be littering anyway. If you're taking part in the teams race, can we please not have the team runners go into the transition area? Report directly to the buses that will be parked on the corner of Heberdean and the Esplanade, and go onto the buses and you'll be transported out to Godley Head. If you miss the bus, unfortunately there will be no run. All runners are required to wear a mask or a face covering on the bus or the minivans that you need to provide. There is enough space on the buses to be socially distanced. If you're the first member of a team, there is no need to go into transition. Simply report to the start line at your designated time and away you go. On to finishing. So those that have raced previously, the finish line will be in a slightly different position, a little bit further down the promenade. So upon finishing the race, athletes will be directed immediately into transition. En route, you'll need to collect a mask off the table and put it on immediately. You must go to your own zone and your own zone only, remove your timing transponder, put it into the box that is at the entry point, collect your gear and then depart the site at the same point that you entered at the beginning of your day. For run-only athletes, return your transponder just beyond the finish line, then please proceed straight down the promenade in front of the cafe and exit the event site. If you're doing the kids race, parents, can you please meet your children at their transition area? So really important that we listen to all these finishing instructions, go to the right area, and then you need to leave the site. Then you need to go and collect your bike. If you were doing the full challenge, bikes will be returned to Sumner School. Athletes are required to walk or drive down to Sumner School, which is less than 1 kilometre away, enter via Dryden Street, which is off Hardwick Street, and the exit is via Colenso Street. The school field will be divided into zones, as with other parks, so there is plenty of space for social distancing. The trucks will be leaving Godley Head approximately 2 hours after the start of the event, and then they'll make their way back to Sumner School. So if you're one of the first athletes to finish, you will need some patience. Maybe go and support the Sumner community by going to a cafe and coming down to the school around about 2.5 hours after the start of the event. Those athletes doing the run challenge who hand in gear at the start of their race will also be collecting their bag from Sumner School. To ensure we run a safe event, we would like to discourage any spectators from attending the event. For those that must come to transport children or other athletes, please scan the Covid-19 Tracer app QR code on arrival, then spectate well beyond the transition area on the promenade towards Cave Rock. Just a few post-race things. There will be no prize giving for this event, unfortunately. Medals and trophies will be able to be collected from a venue that we will confirm after the race. Also, please understand that we will pass over your personal information to the Ministry of Health if anyone associated with the event returns a positive COVID-19 test. And also if you or any close contact return a positive COVID-19 case within 2 weeks of the event, please contact us and the Ministry of Health immediately. So, summing up the really important points everybody needs to adhere to. We're all in this together in terms of making sure this event showcases how events in the future can be run. So, arrive at the event at your designated time. Know your zone or group entry point. Wear a mask at all times inside the transition area when you go to the start line, and then put a mask on immediately after finishing. Only use the toilets in your zone. Kids 5 to 9 year olds can use the public toilets. Once you enter your event sort of race zone, you need to stay there until you're called to your start line 15 minutes before your start. Maintain your social distancing of 2 meters at all time through the course. When you finish, proceed directly into your transition zone or head directly to Sumner School if you're in the run-only event to collect your gear and depart the site. Bags and bikes will be collected from Sumner School from 11 AM. Access is via Dryden Street. And finally, the kids' transition area is in front of Ocean Cafe. Thanks for your support, everybody. We know this is going to be a different event. Please try as hard as you can to take all the information on board, have some patience, say thanks to marshals, and enjoy the view out there. It's I consider this to be the most scenic short distance triathlon anywhere in the world, so have fun. You'll also receive a race manual via email and it will be on the website. This contains all of the details with regards to each of the individual disciplines, race rules, etc.